Oh, hey, glad y'all made it. I was just finishing up a little project that I was working on. But hey, I'm glad you're here. I'm excited to be with y'all. I want to quickly give a shout out to Hayes. Miss my K through 8 family over there. Wish we were outside, enjoying this weather, being able to grow together. But nonetheless, I'm excited for us to do a lesson today. And today, what we're going to be doing is talking about recycling, and we're even going to do a small little project that I'm going to show y'all in a little bit. So let's get going. Alright, now that we're inside, we can get started. If you want to follow along with today's lesson, you can go onto our website, click in our blog, and you'll find today's lesson plan. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So on planet Earth, there's two types of natural resources. One is renewable resource, and the second is non-renewable. Alright, so for the renewable resource, this means that it's a resource that can easily be replaced through a natural cycle. So an example of this could be water, right? So rain starts off in a cloud, it falls down into the earth, right? Plants use it, we drink it, but eventually that water always goes back out to a river, then into an ocean, and then from the ocean it will evaporate, and that water will move back up into the sky and become into a cloud, right? So you see that it's a cycle right there. It starts in the cloud, and then it ends in the cloud, and it just keeps going. Number two being the non-renewable resource, right? So non-renewable meaning that it cannot be replaced, or it takes a very long time for it to be replaced. An example of this could be coal, right? Coal is something that we use to get energy for our houses, for our cars, and everything like that. So the way we get coal is we dig in the ground, we mine, and we grab that coal, and then we eventually put it into a factory that helps burn it so we can get that energy. Now, once it's burned, gases are released into the air, and that's the last place that coal goes to, right?
So correction, it actually goes from air back into the ground. It just takes a really, really long time for it to turn back into coal.
Take a moment to look around us. See if you can't find anything in your house or around you that's made up of natural resources. If we're looking around here, we can see that this bookshelf back here is made out of wood. Wood is a natural resource that's renewable. Take a moment to look around you. If you're having a hard time, think about maybe your shirt. If your shirt's made out of cotton, then cotton comes from a plant, and that's a renewable natural resource. So I'll give you all a moment to look around, y'all. All right, so I'll just be sitting here, making sure you do so. All right, so hopefully y'all found a lot of fun, interesting things around you that are made up of natural resources, renewable and non-renewable. I want to ask y'all a question. What do you think would happen if we used up all of our renewable resources? So all of our resources that can be replaced, what if we used them up too quickly? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Think about our water, right? So we said water is a renewable resource. What if we used up all of the clean water that we have? We have to be careful when we're using our natural resources that we don't use them all up. But how do we do that? So I want to talk to y'all about 3 R's, right? 3 R's are going to help us make sure that we don't use up all of our natural resources too quickly. All right, so the first R is reduce. This means to use less, right? So just use less of the resource. So for example, if you're brushing your teeth, instead of having the water continuously run while you brush your teeth, you can start brushing your teeth, turn off the water, keep brushing, and then once you're ready to rinse, turn the water back on. All right, so the second R is reuse. So that means to use something again. So for example, instead of buying a ton of paper plates or plastic forks, what you can do is buy some ceramic plates or some metal silverware or some cups made out of glass, right? That way you can always wash it and reuse it again. All right, the last one, which is an important one, is recycle. Recycle means to turn something old into something new, right? So there's a lot of ways that we can do this at home. You can recycle certain types of plastic. You can put them in those blue bins outside, and then they go off to a recycling plant, which helps turn those into something new. If y'all want to learn more about what happens to the plastic that you put on the side of the road, right? We want to see how it goes through a factory and what happens to it then. then go into our lesson plan. You'll be able to click that YouTube link and it should take you to a video that's going to talk a little bit about recycling plan and how it works over there. All right, let's go ahead and get started on our activity. Our activity, like I said, it's going to be something fun. And we're going to be doing our very own recycling. We're going to be turning something old, like this coffee mug, into something new, like a planter, right? We put a plant in it. All right, so let's get started.
Alright, so the first thing you're going to need to do is gather up all your materials. You're going to need some soil. You can grab this from your front or backyard. You're going to also need some rocks or some gravel for drainage. You're going to need some scissors for cutting. Now just what you're going to put your plant in. You can use a mason jar. You can use an old tomato sauce jar. You can use a milk jug or a soda liter bottle. And if you have an old houseplant pot, you can use that as well. We're also going to be using an egg carton and toilet paper roll to make little transplanters. Alright, so what you need to do is first grab your toilet paper roll, cut about 1 inch off from the top of each side. Then you're going to cut 4 slits about 1 inch deep and evenly around. You're going to make sure to peel off anything else from the toilet paper roll, then just fold them straight down. And you're going to want to fold it like you would fold a cardboard box so it stays shut. So these should stand on their own, but I always put it in a little basket so it doesn't fall over and make a mess. Now what you want to do is fill it up with soil. Make sure it's nice and compact. Grab some seeds and just place them all in there. Then grab some soil, fill it up to the top. Add some water so it's all nice and wet. For the egg carton, you just want to cut off the top. And you're going to want to cut off that extra cardboard. Now, this works best and only with the cardboard cartons, not the styrofoam ones. So, fill it up with soil all the way. Try to have a towel nearby to clean up all the mess. Alright, so you're just going to make a line. You can grab any seeds that you have and just sprinkle them all the way down. Then you're going to want to cover it with soil. And flatten it out. And make sure to spray it with water. Now for the mason jar, all you have to do is fill it up with rocks. You probably want about 1 inch or 1/2 inch of rocks. Then fill it up with soil. Make sure it's nice and compact, but not too much. Alright, now just put any seeds in there, get them nice and wet, and cover it up with soil. Now for the milk jug, all you're going to do is just cut the top. If you're using a soda bottle, you can do the exact same thing. Just cut the top. Make sure it's nice and even all the way around. Now, just like the mason jar, we're going to fill it up with gravel. You want it, like I said, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Next, just fill it up with soil. This is the extra pot that I had from the previous houseplant. You can reuse it again by just same thing, filling gravel or rocks in there and filling it up with soil. Now I'm going to show you how you would transplant the toilet paper roll into the ground. Obviously you would wait until that toilet paper roll has sprouted.
Alright, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. If y'all liked it, give it a like, comment if you have any questions, and tag us into the things that you've created at home. Alright, so thanks so much for watching. Adios.